There's a few things that are just different about Venice, Florida that other cities don't have. And then there's also just some things that we didn't expect we would like that we really love. I'm gonna tell you all about those 8 things, and I'm getting started right now. If you are looking to move to the Venice area, make sure you call, text, or email my wife, Haiti. She is not feeling well right now. She's having some health issues. Definitely keep her in your thoughts, but if you are looking to move here, you can still call, text, or email her. And if she's not feeling better by the time this video comes out, she knows a lot of great realtors in the area that she's really close with that will take great care of you, I promise. So the first thing, and this was one we were just really not sure about because it almost prevented us from moving to Venice because of the uncertainty around it, was when we came here, and before we even came here, we had heard this, and then when we came here, we saw it for ourselves, is Venice is very much heavier on the retiree side of things compared to even Florida in general already, lots of retirees, but Venice even more so. It's like retiree central. Outside of maybe Naples, I would say there's not a whole lot of other cities that have a higher ratio of retirees. So we didn't know if that would make living here kind of awkward or weird, or there wouldn't be things for us to do, or it'd be hard to connect with people. But you know what? It is amazing. The people take care of the city so well because they've learned that through life experience. They're so friendly. It's easy to talk to them, easy to connect. There's still plenty of stuff for us to do that we enjoy doing. As always, watch some of our other videos if you're not sure if there's gonna be enough stuff for you to do. In fact, we have a video that will come out either before or after this video with, I think it's like 42 things to do in Venice, Florida. That'll give you a sense of the kind of things that we have here. But we haven't found any shortage of that side of things. So the fact that the city is heavier geared towards retirees has actually been something very positive, and we love that about the city. It gives it its unique character, its unique charm, makes it a pleasant place to be. We don't ever feel like we have to feel worried about crime and things like that, or I shouldn't say ever, because there's still gonna be a level of that, because it's not like it's all retirees or no retirees ever, have any criminal activity or maybe cause car accidents or what. There's always going to be some negative side of anything that someone looks at as a positive. But that being said, overall, it's been overwhelmingly a very, very positive thing for us, and we really like it. Here's another one that's very strange and unique about the area. At first, I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't dislike it because I love dogs, so you already know it's about dogs. I'm kind of teasing you here a little. But the more I saw it, and I think my wife too, we're just like, that's kind of fun. And we haven't been bold enough to do it ourselves yet. And what it is bringing your dog into stores. We see so many dogs in Home Depot and Lowe's and even sometimes Walmart. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, it's probably just little lap dogs that go into a purse. Most of them, yes. Or sit in the cart. Most of them, yes. And you're thinking, well, yeah, the bigger ones are the ones that are seeing eye dogs or emotional support dogs. And maybe, but most of them that we see are not wearing any vest of any sort. It just looks like a regular person with a regular dog. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's any medical reason for the dog to be with them. Now, maybe that's just us guessing wrong, or maybe we're being too judgy. I don't know, but we're not judging because I don't know. I think it's kind of awesome. It's cool. We kind of want to bring our dog to the store now, but we just don't know if it's a thing here. We have heard that it is allowed, but there's never any signs on most doors saying that, oh yeah, bring your dog in, or don't, because I'm sure they don't want too many coming in. But all the dogs are usually pretty well behaved. I've never seen one having an accident. Every now and then you'll see one barking, or hear one barking, I guess, but it's not that common. But overall, yeah, we love seeing the dogs in stores because we're dog lovers. My wife didn't used to be, but she is now because of our dog Jazz, who is awesome. Anyways, point being, dogs in stores, it's kind of cool. This next strange thing I kind of dislike in some regards still, but overall I think it's kind of makes it neat. And what it is more so this happens in the summer, but it also is to some degree a thing in the winter, and it's because Venice is sort of a smaller town, is the very limited hours to some of the stores and restaurants, especially in the summer. They won't be open certain days, some of them, don't get me wrong, this isn't all of them. And then some of them will just be closed earlier, open up later, maybe they'll close for a few hours during around, right after lunchtime, or whatever the case may be. So there's kind of these weird sporadic hours, and it kind of makes me think, here's 2 of the positives of it. The first is it kind of makes me think of when I went to Italy, and they were telling me how a lot of places weren't open on the weekends, and they were closed, earlier in the day, and that's just kind of the culture there. It's because like you enjoy your friends and family on the weekends, and you make your own food, and you know, when you want to go out to eat or go to the store, you do it during the week. And it kind of gave a unique charm, you know, to Venice, to have that kind of in common with Venice, Italy, or just Italy in general, I should say, because I wasn't in Venice, Italy. I was just in Italy. I forgot what city, a couple different ones. Anyways, point being, kind of had that in common. But then on top of that, like you have to almost like make a plan to go to a place when it's open, or if you decide you want to go to that place and they are open, it adds a level of excitement or urgency. Okay, like we got to go now, it's open, you know? It makes it kind of more of a big deal. Okay, here's another strange thing that we kind of like, but it's kind of a double-edged sword. This one I kind of dislike almost as much as I like, but it's slower traffic. So when we came from Orlando area, it was just too hectic and crazy for us, honestly, and it was one of the main reasons we decided to move out. We got a full video talking about that we'll link in the description down below. But anyways, the slower traffic when we first saw Venice was like awesome, amazing, breath of fresh air, makes it feel a little safer, a little more calm, less stressful. And we still do love that about it. However, I will say there are times where you're kind of in a hurry, especially in the winter months, and all 3 lanes of Tamiami Trail, the main road, are packed, and you can't change lanes to get around on everyone because everyone's driving 45 in all the lanes, same speed, side by side. That can get a little bit frustrating. However, overall, I would say still enjoy that slower pace. Not everyone necessarily will, but if you want something a little more laid back, easy breezy, Live Breezy merch, link in the description as well, then you probably will like Venice. Okay, here's a weird one, and this one is not very typical for other cities. Maybe in Florida, but outside of Florida, it's not as typical, and it's the extreme population changes. Venice, Florida has a population of 20,000. Now, that doesn't include South Venice and Venice Gardens, but let's just talk Venice. 20,000, right? Not a lot of people. When winter comes, I don't even want to guess what the actual population is, but if I had to guess, I would say it probably goes up to like 60,000. And the population never changes because they're not permanent residents. A lot of snowbirds, tourists, whatever else are coming down just to get away from the cold winter wherever they're coming from. So the population just explodes. And because of that, the city has this different energy and vibrance, and it almost feels like a big party, and everyone's coming down and enjoying paradise, and everyone has that in common. And it's just so easy to talk about the city that you're in. Isn't it great here? You know, all these people that are down for the winter months, or maybe that even live here full time. So it's kind of cool from that aspect. But then on the flip side, when summer comes, all of a sudden the city kind of, I don't want to say dies, but it almost feels like this ghost town, but it's still got like all the restaurants and stores open, the beaches, and you have it like all to yourself. Oasis, it's like this deserted island that you live in by yourself, and you kind of have it all to yourself. So that side of it is cool. All that combined, just that change in season, just kind of makes this city exciting all the time, because there's always that constant change in seasonality, not just from weather, because the weather doesn't change as much here as it does in other states, but from the whole demographic of the city and just the feel of it. And that brings me to another thing that just hits different here, and it's kind of weird. When you think of Christmas, you do not think of palm trees and sunshine and the beach, probably, do you? You think of snow, you think of Santa Claus, you think of Christmas lights. But guess what? Venice does Christmas lights right. I mean, they kill it. That's probably not a good word to use for Christmas. It's amazing. Anyways, West Blaylock Park, awesome. The downtown, the way they decorate it, awesome. We have a Christmas boat parade, awesome. A huge Christmas parade that people used to, until they started making it so you couldn't do this, they used to set up chairs like days in advance just to get a good seat for our huge Christmas parade. So that kind of shows you the Christmas spirit that goes through the city. But on top of that, just like all the houses in the neighborhoods, very well decorated. Honestly, I feel like it's better than like in Wisconsin where we came from, a city called Fond du Lac. I feel like it's better here as far as how many houses are decorated. And I'm suppose it helps that it's not snowing or cold out when you can put the lights up. But just the vibe of Christmas is very different here, but the spirit is very much the same, if not more so here. Oh, and by the way, I'll link you to a playlist in the description down below, all of the different Christmas things that we filmed in Venice, because we filmed a couple of them, and you can see it for yourself. Okay, here's one kind of weird thing, and this isn't exclusive to Venice. This is kind of pretty much anytime you go to the beach. But it's a very unique experience. If you go to the beach and you're in the water for a while, the salt water does something to your hands and your feet, your skin in general, really, but you'll notice it most on your hands and feet. It'll make it really, really smooth. and feel like almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels different after. It must be a lot of exfoliation going on, but it's just, I don't know, something kind of quirky and weird that I notice every time I leave the beach that is just kind of fun. So it's a quick one, but I think it's kind of cool. And finally, another strange thing that we didn't know if we would like about Venice. In fact, we didn't even know this would be more of a thing here from Orlando, because we moved from Orlando, Wisconsin to Orlando, down to Venice. In Orlando, we saw like one gator on this like walking trail that we would go on occasion. It was really far away. There was this fence, and then there was this retention pond. We would every now and then, we were living in Orlando for like a year before we saw this gator. And so it was a pretty big deal when we saw it. We didn't realize how much more we were gonna see gators when we were in Venice, number one. But number two, I don't think we realized how much we wouldn't mind it and kind of like it. Like, we have a retention pond behind our house, and it's kind of exciting to see the gator and what he's up to, or I shouldn't say the gator, because now it's a different gator, and at one point we had two gators. And like, all those things are kind of exciting. And I remember when we first moved, we would see the gator kind of sitting somewhere, and a bird, because there's a bunch of different birds like ducks and these things called snake birds and things like that would be in the pond, and they would swim right past it. And I remember when we first moved, I'm like, oh my gosh, the gator's about to eat that bird because he's going right past. Never did anything, but it still added some excitement. Just, I don't know, there's something about that. However, there is kind of the downside to alligators that you have to be aware of. We will have a video in the description down below about the truth about alligators in Florida, because you have to be, aware of the dangers of them as well. But then there's also, like, sometimes we'll see people posting in Facebook groups videos of gators crossing really busy roads. Doesn't happen very often, just so you're not like thinking that's gonna be happening all the time. It's a pretty big deal when it does. But just, I don't know, the gators in general is kind of something that, a lot of people I think are worried about before they come to Florida. And now that we're here, we actually kind of enjoy having the gators around. This is some of the strange things about Venice, but if you want to have a more full scope about Venice, we got a bunch of videos. Check out this playlist. It's all about life in Venice, Florida. If you do want to move to the area, call, text, or email Haiti. If she's not feeling well yet, she has a lot of really close friends that are amazing realtors. We promise they will take great care of you. Her contact information is in the description below. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, leave a comment with any other questions you have, and we'll try to get to a future video, and live breezy.